Welcome to Business Central CRM 1, brought to you by Cowry Solutions. Today we're going to look at the customer management features within the system. This includes an overview of contacts, adding new companies and new people, profile questionnaires, and an overview of salespeople and opportunities.
Now here we see the launch page for Business Central that we'll get when we first log in. What we want to do is we're going to navigate to the contacts page of this screen. So we can see in the top left corner we can go to contacts here, or in the top right we can go to the magnifying glass and we can just type that in to get to the page we need to get to. So once this loads up, this will show us all of the records that we have currently stored within our system. Now the difference between the two records, in bold you have the name of the company, and underneath a bold record you have the name of an employee that works for that company. So now we've seen an overview of all of the records in our system, we're going to go ahead, we're going to add a new entry in. So if we click on new in the top banner, that's going to create a new entry for us. We're now going to give that a name. In the bar beneath, we can actually specify whether that's a company or a person. We're going to get to person later in the demo, so for this instance, we're going to leave it as a company. Now with salesperson's code, we can go ahead right from the get-go. We can add an account manager or a salesperson, depending on your business, and we can assign that to that individual so that they know they're looking after them. So today, we're going to add Jim in, and he will be the account manager for this business. We can do things like record the address. Now, I don't know the postcode for 10 Oxford Street in London, but if I type in the name of the street and the city, once I've finished doing that, it will suggest a postcode to me. I don't know which one's right, so we're just going to go with that one. We can obviously put in a telephone number for the business. And because this is at company level, if they have a generic email address that you would email through to, you could put that in there. We can also record things such as whether they were used foreign currency. So for a London-based business, we will assume they're using pound sterling, but obviously they're also maybe using the euro as well to trade with the EU. So we can go in here and we can select that and add euro in as well to specify that they do also trade with euros as well. There's also below the profile questionnaire bit, which I'm going to come back to a little bit later in today's demo. So now everything is saved. Whenever you type anything into the system, it does automatically save the record for you. So if we come back out of this, if we resort our list, because it will be sitting at the bottom otherwise, we can now see, sitting here, we have test company now appears in our results of all of our contacts we have within our system. So now what we want to do is we want to go ahead and add someone that works at that company to the system. So in the same way as we did with the company, we're going to go up to the add a new entry. We're going to put it in, so our person today will be called John Smith. We will select them as a person rather than as a company, as we did last time. We're then going to select the company record that they relate to, which will be test company today. And that's now auto-populated a lot of those fields for us, including who the salesperson is. That's pulled that through from our company card, so we don't have to manually update that. We then go down to communication, and all of those address details and contact details have been pulled through from the company card. But now what we can do is we can go ahead and specify the actual individual's details. So rather than that individual's phone number is this. And rather than info at their JS. So we've now got their personal email address and their personal contact number recorded against this record. So now we've updated all the details. If we come out of our record, we can go back to our contact list, and we will now see John sitting under the company that he works for. So that's how easy it is to go ahead and add a new company and also add someone that works to that company. Now, when we were creating the new company, I mentioned the profile questionnaires, and I was going to come back to that later, and I'm going to come back to that right now. So if I go back into our test company record, at the bottom of the screen, we've currently got an unpopulated field called profile questionnaire. Now what we want to do, we actually want to go ahead and add some information into this. So if we do that, so we go to related, contact, and then profiles. This is a standard questionnaire that comes through as basic with the system, but you can add and create your own custom records. Now this allows us to record information such as how many employees they've got. So we're going to say they've got 500 to 1,000 employees. They're on the stock exchange, and they're neither a partner or competitor or a customer, so we're going to leave it at that. So if I come back out of that now, we've now seen that that's updated there. Now, of course, you can make your own custom lists, so that information might not be relevant to you, but you could create your own questionnaire to record information that is useful for your business. If you update all of your records with these profile questionnaires, you can then run reports on those in the future. So if you're going to have a campaign, for whatever that may be, you can then search for specified records within your system to make it nice and easy for you to target the right customers. Now, this also applies to the actual individual itself. So if I come back out of the company and I go into our new record for John, we'll see in his card we have the same thing at the screen, but that won't be populated because what we just did was based on the company. So what we're going to do, we're going to actually do it for the individual as well. And you notice straight away that the questions that are asked are different because this is a question set for a person rather than a company. So things like gender, hobbies, marital status, again, this is just a basic questionnaire. You can make these to be whatever you want them to be. So it might be more useful for you to have their role within the business, whether they're a key decision maker, things like that, whether they're a key finance contact, whatever that may be, to make it relevant for your business. So we know John's a man. I don't know, he likes football. He's married with kids. He went to university. So now we can come out of our list and we will now see those records are populated against that. So if you keep it together with all of these profile questionnaires for each company, but also each individual, you can start building up a real snapshot of useful information for the businesses and the individuals for those businesses for marketing campaigns or whatever you may need to use that in the future. Now that's just from a customer management point of view. You can also do this for internal use as well, because obviously it's going to be a big part of your business too. So if we come back out of this, we actually want to go all the way back out of our contact records now. We want to look at our salespersons. So we're going to use the magnifying glass in the top corner to do so. Now, earlier in our record, or earlier in the demo, sorry, I actually assigned the new company to Jim. So we can see here we've got a list of all of our salespeople working within the business. If I go on to Jim, I can actually pull up his contact card, and that's all the useful information that we have for Jim as a person. So, his email address, his telephone number, whatever that may be. Now what we can also do is we can click on Related, and from within the screen itself, we can look at the salesperson thing and we can go in to see all of the unique records that are assigned to Jim and what he's working on. So we can click on Contacts to look at the businesses that he's looking after. We can go to Tasks and Opportunities. So if I use Opportunities as an example, so this will now pull up all of the opportunities that are assigned to Jim. And we get a quick snapshot. We can see that actually these ones are already won, so he's actually already done those ones. We can see what they're about, what date they were logged, and just get a quick snapshot of all the useful information. We can also run a filter if we want to. You can do that on any page of Business Central. Obviously, in this case, it's quite easy to identify what's open and what's not. But if there was a lot more records, we could go in here, we could add a filter, and we say we're going to sort it by status, and we want that status to be in progress or not started, and then that will show us all the ones that are currently he's working on, so he knows this is what I need to look at in my system. Obviously, we've drilled into that just by looking at Jim's salesperson card. If I come all the way back out to our main screen a second, so let's just jump back. We can actually just do this for all of our opportunities as well. So if we want to see what everyone's up to, I'm going to use the magnifying glass again. I'm going to search for opportunities. Now this would give us a full list of all of the opportunities within the business, including all the other salespeople, whether they're won, all the status of all of them, what they're up to, what date they were logged. The filter menu is still up because I opened it in the last screens. Now we could also, if we wanted to, go in and filter again by status. We want that status to be, anything that's, so we don't want it to be won or lost, we want it to be open. And we can now see that actually the person with the initials HR has got 3. The person with the initials BC has got 3 as well. So maybe if we've got salespeople that don't have anything assigned to them, we might want to rejig that based on this screen. And that's it. That's a basic overview of what can be done with the CRM capabilities. I hope that was useful for you. Please check out our other content. And if you've got any questions, please do let us know. Thank you.